Welcome back, guys, here for episode 2 of Card Talk Canada. And we've got Coleman back again, as always.
How's it going, everyone? Coleman back again here. We are very excited to get episode 2 on its way. And we're excited to have this week joined by another member of JuiceSlabs.
What's going on, guys? My name is Nick. I'm stoked to be on the pod. Thanks for having me. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the pod. I give a little bit of a backstory on JuiceSlabs. So me and Nick actually grew up down the street from each other, still live down the street from each other. And so JuiceSlabs has been a fun thing that we've started with a few of our other friends, Josh and Guidezeg. And we'll have some of the boys rotating through the podcast every now and then. So stay tuned for that and make sure you follow us on Instagram at JuiceSlabs.
That's right. And if you ever see us at a show, there's a good chance that you'll get a free juice box if you get a deal done with us. So come by the booth and say hi, and just make sure to remember to say juice.
That'll be a story for another day where that one came from. But Coleman, let's get into it, and let's take a look at some of the Slabsharks auctions going on this weekend. Maybe live reveal that Ultimate Shield.
Yeah, so it is Thursday, and as everyone pretty much knows in the hockey card community, that is the night Slabsharks ends, and one of the biggest modern day shields was up for auction this week, and it was the Connor Bedard Ultimate Shield. Yeah, none of us have seen what it ended at yet. 9:41 p.m. right now. 9 o'clock was when it ended. I have it pulled up here, so we'll pull it up and see where it ended. I think last we all said we saw it was sitting around 75,000. Do you have any predictions, either of you, of where this card will end up, or where it has ended already, and how much the new owner for the Shield has paid?
It's got to be six figures, right?
You would think
it's got to be.
You would think it's got to be six figures, with the fact that there was the $125,000 offer on the Cup Shield. And as we talked about last week, a lot of people believe that the Ultimate Shield is a lot more valuable than the Cup Shield just because of the fact that every rookie has one. And all the big name rookies, let's say, actually. So it'll be interesting to see of how I'm thinking it should end around the same, like 120 or so, but you never know. So you guys ready to take a look at what it went for?
Yes, sir.
Let's take a look.
76,000. Wow.
It didn't move.
Did not move at all.
It moved at the buzzer. That is...
It was sitting at that number for good, like 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See if we can see anything on the bidders.
I'm actually like shocked. Like, what was David Adams' bounty when the one-of-one outburst like was around that they were offering?
It was $1 million. They had $1 million bounty on.
They had $1 million bounty on the one-of-one gold outburst, not autoed, no jersey attached, and this card just went for 76,000.
This has got to be this is obviously a bigger card than the one-of-one outburst, right? Because of the history and the shield, the autograph on the card.
You would have to think so, and it's crazy to think that. Where would this shield have gone if it was auctioned at the peak of the hype, right when the Young Guns were going crazy and everyone was wanting Bedard? Where would this have landed comparatively? Was this a big bust on Upper Deck's part of not having the product ready in time? Or do you guys think that kind of delaying it and waiting and building the hype was ultimately a good decision?
Like, I feel like it was probably not the best decision by Upper Deck to risk more performance time for Bedard. Mind you, I don't think people have given up on him, but the hype of seeing him kind of have a slow start like McKinnon had back in the early days and is definitely playing a toll on the hobby. I like to say that some of his like Young Gun decline is due to just like how much they printed. With it being the most printed card, it's like 6,000 plus PSA 10s. It's the most PSA 10s of any hockey card.
Exactly.
That's what's really holding it down. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And so that's what I think's holding him down. But I really think that card, David Adams was offering $1 million on the first bounty for that one-on-one. So like there could have been a higher bounty.
Well? Was that not USD as well?
Yeah.
Which makes you think was that just to move product or to that's?
Are we getting into some conspiracies here? Is the one-on-one outburst sitting waiting to be pulled on EPAC a year from now when Upper Deck is nice and?
Could be. You never know. We've seen like which other one Golden Treasure or the one-of-one outburst was pulled on EPAC.
What wasn't it? Both Fantilli and Cooley from Extended weren't they
It
both
was.
EPAC
I
pulls?
think I saw Cooley for sure, but Fantilli probably as well. If that's what, but it's just crazy to see that. Like, I wish they would tell. They would give you a better idea of which ones were possible and which, and because I think that might bring a different component to EPAC. People who are looking for those specific cards may go over to EPAC, and that's a whole nother chat for another day about Upper Decks EPAC and what the goods are and what the cons are of it and where everyone thinks that's at.
I mean, because also anyone that's I feel like there's two big components to that. Anyone that, number one, likes to rip product themselves, like is not looking to pay taxes and pay Upper Deck to ship their cards to them and open cards up online, that impacts. But also, if you're a wax hoarder, right? If you invest in wax, if you like to buy and sit on wax, like that drastically would impact the value of the product to know whether or not like the product chases in the two best names. And that's assuming that they both were pulled on EPAC, but I believe they were both pulled on EPAC and were never actually in the physical boxes. Like that would really deter some people, I think, from sitting on wax as much as maybe has been done or thought about in the past.
For sure. No, that's definitely a point to kind of make.
Was there any other big cards ending this week that we want to chit chat about?
Well, I think there was a couple other big Bedard cards that went off this week in auction. There was a True Cup RPA of his. The first one I've seen graded. It was a PSA 8 Auto 10. I believe that one ended around 14,000 tonight. Which
it went for 13.5.
Good sale.
What's the highest sale on one of those? Does one of them like cracked 14? Did the first one crack 14?
There was a 4 color, I believe, that was high.
It might have been 15 or 16.
15, 16 Canadian.
But there was also another big Bedard card tonight ending on Slabsharks, and that was the Bedard 1/1 Exquisite, and as well the Bedard Monumental, the 1 of 6 rookie Monumental patch. So I don't know, Adrian, if you have the numbers on those, where those have ended, and if they have ended yet. But
I believe the Monumental is ending in the next 12 minutes. It is currently sitting just shy at 9.2, and the True Cup is sitting at 8.8.
There you go. There was also another big card to be talked about this week, was the Quinn Hughes FutureWatch Auto Inscribe jersey number, actually. That was a big one that was ending, and I'm not sure if it has ended.
It has ended, and that ended at 4.5,
which is it seems to be a pretty healthy sale. There have been a couple PSA 10 sales recently, not recently, but within the past couple of years, and especially with it being a jersey number, that for sure tops them out. And what a great card, especially being inscribed for the jersey number as well as being a 10.
Yeah, that's a nice premium there.
So me personally, I am not as big of an RPA guy unless it is specifically one specific RPA, which is the Cup Limited logos, because that is the only game used piece. All the player worn pieces, they just don't quite do it as much for me. So because I am of that opinion, or like I guess that's just what I enjoy, to me, like an inscribed 10, especially the jersey number, would be like one of the ultimate cards to have of a player for me.
Yeah, it was one that was on my radar. I didn't know how high it was going to get, just because of, Quinn Hughes last year. He had a very up and down year with a lot of roller coasters, where he was playing so well when he was in, but then he was battling that injury, which kept him out of Four Nations, which he would have been such a big addition to that squad. And I also think that card may be a great time to pick it up, because again, he's in that kind of lower point in his market. And if you believe in him next year, and especially it being the Olympic year, he is going to be a huge part of that US team. And you may see a big kind of uptick in his market come the Olympic time. And I think he's a big one who, especially his high-end cards, you may be a great time to pick those up. I don't know what you guys think about that. Nick, Adrian,
when I first got into the hobby, this is about a year and a half ago, I was like Hughes Bros all the way, like Quinn, Jack, and then when Luke came in, I was like, grab some stuff for him too. Jack really led the way, and then when his prices started falling off, it sort of led me more away from them. The thing that And then obviously with Jack's injury, and then the big thing going against Quinn, besides the injury that he was battling, was like, what the heck's going on with Vancouver right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like Besser just re-signed yesterday, but I mean, like the whole like JT Miller and Elias Pettersson thing that was going on last year, that was just weird. And it like the goaltending situation, like how's Demko doing? You know, like I think they just signed him to an extension, but man, he's been just like had a whole cluster of injuries that he's had to deal with. So the direction of that team's just really uncertain right now. And who knows, maybe Quinn, there's some rumors floating around. I don't know how true they are yet, but maybe he joins his brothers in New Jersey over there, which would be pretty sweet to see. And if that happens, I think that's very good for his value.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, I feel
that
like if you're picking him up, that would be why, is to
Yeah.
bet on him going to New Jersey. That's where I think his multiplier would go crazy, is if he goes to New Jersey.
Well, I think all their markets have that opportunity. Another one, speaking of Nick, you were just talking about Jack as well. Jack had one of his monumentals that ended on Slabsharks tonight as well. That was another big one of his rookie monumentals. That was one that ended. And as well, you had a 2015 Sam Bennett Ultimate Shield. Not the true version, but still one of his shields. And what a time to be selling it right after his massive contract, after the Conn Smythe, after just everything he did for them throughout playoffs.
Dominant performance from him the whole way through. And like, it's just ridiculous. Like the new levels he's added to his game since like coming to Florida from Calgary. I mean, like his ability to produce points in the playoffs, like when he's just not known to be that type of player in the regular season, but in the playoffs he can be that like grinder that is going to be an absolute pain in the butt to deal with every single shift. But then meanwhile he's also scoring like clutch goals, and it seems like he's on the score sheet pretty much every game. Like he's had a ridiculous run. The contract's well deserved, and I agree. I think it's a fantastic time if you're wanting to sell some high end Bennett right now. I think there's a lot of Florida fans and new Florida fans that are looking to acquire some Mr. Sammy Boy.
Well, for sure. And one again, who we'll probably see in the Olympics again, representing Canada. So you'll see maybe his market get hot again back when he's wearing the red, white, and the maple leaf. But especially when he gets on a team with some of those other players in it, he really seems to elevate his play in the bigger the game.
Yeah, he's clutch.
I think
speaking the final price there on that 1/1 Ultimate Shield for Bennett was $4K.
Okay. That's a very good.
And then monumental Jack Hughes was 4.5.
I wonder if that's the highest Sam Bennett sale ever. I don't know if you guys have Card Ladder on you, but I'm curious to know what the highest Sam Bennett card has ever sold for, because 4K sounds like a pretty solid number for Sam Bennett and his not so illustrious career up to this point.
It is. I'm going to pull it up here on screen.
Margin.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Huge.
I had a feeling it's like.
So here we go. Here we can see the.
Wow.
There you go. By a large margin. Yeah. So a great time to sell. Great time to sell.
Okay. So he had a BGS 9.5 do 1,700 all the way back in 2017.
That's crazy.
Like for 2017, that is a huge sale. And then look at that. The third highest sale was a McDavid and Bennett checklist.
It wasn't exclusive, but
that's hilarious.
Look at this 4-color.
It's wild.
And that's in 2017 as well. Holy cow, that fetched. But yeah, he is absolutely shattered his previous high. It's higher than the past two sales combined.
Good for whoever the buyer is. Congratulations on that. A great 1/1 and a great addition. Who knows? Even with his market could just keep on going.
The last sale on his FutureWatch, buy now, $650 PSA 10.
Wow.
That's more than Matthew Tkachuk.
Get on the Bennett train now while you still can, before Florida wins any more cups and he's got any more Conn Smythes, man.
Exactly. 2 more cards that I wanted to bring your attention to. Kind of 2 cards that you don't see often. There was a Quinton Byfield SP Authentic FutureWatch Black in a PSA 7. And also the Leo Carlson Cup Foundations 1/1. I didn't know if you guys, what your thoughts on the product of both of those are, kind of the cards, and what you think about the foundations and if you think that those cards are undervalued currently, or what your real opinions are on.
Well,
Wow,
Big fan. Big fan.
big fan of the 1/1.
pull that up to the camera. Let's see it.
Let's get that focus. Wow, look at that.
Even
Big
as
fan.
Even as a hat fan, I gotta respect that.
So, Adrian, I
That
don't know if you
was,
want to talk about the most recent pickup and talk about how you acquired that grail.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching the stream. It was pulled on Cap City Breaks, and they pulled it while I was watching the stream, and instantly I'm in the chat. Yo, who's got this? I need to have it. There's something about it. Matthew Nyes didn't have a great checklist from the cup. No shield, just a 1/1 auto. So for me to get a piece of jersey and the auto in a 1/1 format, I was like, I'm all in. I love the double tag and then 2 different types of patch. Like one's a part of the roots, one's a part of the letters. So super strong patch as well. And I had to find this card and get this from the guy. He messages me and instantly he tells me he's a Leafs fan, and I go, oh, this is going to be difficult. And so we went back and forth for a week. We weren't making progress because he didn't want to sell it because he was a Leafs fan. And then a week and a half goes by and he hits me up. And the timing and everything just worked out. I ended up driving 8.5 hours Canada Day weekend to go camping. And I was camping 30 minutes from this guy's house. So it just worked out perfectly that I could pick this up. It was meant to be. And I'm just stoked to have this one.
Show
People
it again.
probably
Show
won't
it,
see
show
this
it for
for a
the
long
show.
time.
Yeah.
People probably won't see this for a long time.
They got the nice Adidas logo there, the laundry tag of part of the lettering, and then you got the couple breaks on the top left too. Beautiful.
What a beautiful card that is.
So that was an experience, and I'm stoked to add that to the PC.
Yeah, I love foundations like those. Even just the base, like the jersey auto cards, like not the 1/1 or the patches, because I know there's like a shorter print. Obviously there's the 1/1. There's the patch auto version, and then there's the jersey auto version as well. I'm even a big fan of the jersey auto, and actually this will segue into a couple of my PC pickups recently. These are not cup foundations, but it's a very similar style to it, because I'm also a big fan of the UD Black set. So check that out.
Very
That is
nice.
the Wayne Gretzky. That is from 09-10 UD Black. And Upper Deck is bringing it back this year. I am so freaking excited. Holy cow. We haven't seen this in years, and they're bringing back UD Black. I just love the black cards, like the Black Lustrous RPAs. If I go for an RPA, it's my favorite. And then I also got the Mario Lemieux to go along with it.
Double.
But it's just this, yeah. So it's a similar, like almost an identical style to the cup foundations. Yeah, put them in together. You can have a nice look. But I'm really happy with these. Similar styles to the cup foundations, but obviously the black set. But no, I'm a big fan of those. And then you mentioned the Quinton Byfield black as well. I am not a big Quinton Byfield fan, but I think the rarity of them is to be quite desired.
I think they're underrated. The FutureWatch Blacks, like the FutureWatch Blacks and the acetates, fall into this category where they're short print. They're not like truly talked about in number availability. That like people don't care as much about them, but they are so rare and they look so cool. The acetate having the different picture variation and the 2 layers to the card, and the black having the gold ink auto, just like is such a clean standout, and it just seems more luxurious. That to me, they definitely deserve some more love.
And I mean, they're 2 staple sets, right? You got Flagship, and then you got SBA. Like I feel like the third one that falls into that group of like the core 3 is like the Cup, right? But for those 2, like those are the SSP non-numbered. Don't know how many there are out there, but if you see one, you better grab it, because like, are you ever going to see one again? Who knows, right? And I want to show, while I have time, I got one more PC pickup that's actually no longer in my PC. It is now in my girlfriend's father's PC. He didn't let me hold on to this for more than 24 hours. So I picked this up at a show. I got this in a deal from our good friends at Relics. Shout out to Leslie for being awesome to work with. If you ever see Relics at a card show, hit them up for sure. But I sent my girlfriend's dad a picture of this. This is a dual Wayne Gretzky, Bobby Orr. Got the nice gold ink, and this is from... what is it, 2014? Yeah, 2014 Upper Deck Team Canada. It's numbered out of 25. I sent him a picture of this card, and he said right away, I got to have it.
Those
So
are super clean on.
they both of them really nice bold autos. The card's in great shape for a thick card, and I told him, Tom, your money's going to a good place because this is an absolutely stellar card, and you're getting it. Obviously, I had to come up with a pretty good price too, so yeah, he's very excited to get that one to him.
There you go. Exactly. Expanding the hobby. That's what we love to hear.
Oh yeah, that's a banger. Leading into that, Coleman, you made a deal recently with Relics. They hooked you up with a nice pickup. Why don't you tell us about that one?
Yeah, recently again, Relics, super helpful and easy to deal with. Speaking on the Leafs talk, we have the Matthews BGS 9.5 exclusives young gun out of 100. This is one I've been looking to add to our inventory for a while. It's now available. But yeah, and then another one I was really excited to get. This one I got on Slabsharks. I have been, as most of you know, I'm a Wyatt Johnson PC guy. This is my last young gun variation that I need, the speckled foil. I'm still looking for it in a 10. If anyone has it in a 10 out there, please hit me up. And then another PC, another edition was another inscribed 910 added to the Wyatt PC. But yeah, I think that's about it for this week so far.
What is that now? Do you own 10% of the FutureWatch population out there yet, or what?
We are getting close onto it. So right now, I do a little bit of a wide obsession. I am at 87 total FutureWatch autos. 7 of them are inscribed.
For Crosby.
We're gonna keep getting that number up, and hopefully one day, as Adrian said, 10% of the FutureWatch auto population. So if anyone has it, hit me up.
That's a good healthy number.
That is ridiculous. That is such a cool collection. Holy cow. Imagine having 100 in a line, 10 inscribed.
A 10 by 10 grid in a picture frame would just be nuts.
Have a black sitting right in the middle.
Yeah, actually, there is one more thing that recent pickup. This has been something that I've been looking to pick up for a while.
The Fanatics, nice.
But the Fanatics Eminent, lucky enough, snagged this on auction last week for way under retail. So thankfully, and I didn't have to guess the pack. But yeah, so that's another thing going in. It will go right up there. Eventually, we'll get a shelf and we'll hang everything. But yeah, that's another. Good.
Nice.
Very nice.
And I got one more to show. This wasn't super recent, but it would be remiss of me to not include something from the Montreal Canadiens, being a Habs fan. So this is like an absolute grail pickup for me that I've been holding on to for a little bit now. But it's Patrick Waugh, rookie in a PSA 9. It is available if I get the right price. I'm asking like way too much for it, but if someone wants to pay me that amount, I will sell this and then buy a new one. So I just had to show this one off because I was looking for this card for a while. One came by the booth. When we were actually at the Montreal Expo, Coleman was nice enough to send it over our way and got a deal done for it. So couldn't be happier to have it look at it. And I just love this card, man. Beautiful, beautiful card.
It's an awesome card. Great.
That saying from vendors happens all the time. That saying where a vendor says, I'm asking too much, but it's in my piece.
It's my least favorite thing to hear when I walk up to a table, but I understand because I'm guilty of it myself. So if you want this card, you're going to have to pay a bit of a premium, but yeah.
Okay, so let's get into this week's hobby headlines. You know, PG Platinum dropped on Wednesday. Everyone's been ripping it. Let's go over the checklist first, Coleman, and then we can give our thoughts on the design and what we got going on this year.
Yeah, I'll give you a quick little rundown. Contents per hobby box on average is one hard signed auto, which is going to be your on-card rookie auto. You have 6 rainbow parallels, 3 sunset parallels, 2 pink magma parallels, 5 numbered parallels, 299 or lower, all the way down to the golden treasures, of course. You also have 12 insert cards, which includes power playmakers, showmanship, sweet selections. There are also 6 retro cards plus 1 retro rainbow card. So there's also the base set and also the parallels. There are just much loved. I'll talk about my favorite being the Cosmic out of 65, Cosmic Gold out of 50, Orange Checkers out of 25, which is a hobby exclusive. And there's also the Emerald Surge, which is out of 10. There's also Bioluminescence, which is the out of 5. And of course, the Golden Treasures. I don't know if you guys are hunting any cards specifically or going to be opening any boxes of this, but yeah, what are your opinions on the new release? Will you be picking any new cards up? Or
I got to hop into this here because I'm a massive Platinum junkie. And for my fellow Platinum junkies out there, you guys all know that this is an unreal year for Platinum. Platinum's been a little bit on the shaky side ever since I think it was 21-22 when they had the ridiculously off-centered set. I actually have a couple of cards here. So this was like the 21-22 year. This is a hot magma of Gale McCarr. This was actually surprisingly centered, but like most of them, you'll get them like going way off to one side or the other. And that was the first year that they introduced the hot magma and the liquid metal, which Platinum Junkies are just not a big fan of. I mean, they were, first of all, they're the highest numbered cards that were ever in Platinum. Liquid metals, I think, were the 399, and the hot magmas are the 499. And I mean, while the design is pretty cool, this is the 21 version. This is the 2022 version. Like, the design of the hot magma in the background is awesome, but they just do not contrast well with any NHL jersey. Like, I cannot imagine a single jersey at NHL that would look good with like a dark red and yellow background like this. So like, while
Maybe
I do
the Flame.
enjoy, you know what? That's a good point. That's probably the one team there that could work. But I don't know. Would it contrast well enough? It might have to be like their white jersey, right?
Yeah, it would have to be a certain photo.
Yeah, but so what's awesome is this year they got rid of the liquid metal, they got rid of the hot magma. Like, let's freaking go! Enough of that already. And they also got rid of the matte pink, which was a non-numbered parallel. So back in 2020, 2021, the autograph version of that card was numbered, and then ever since then it wasn't. And they also had base parallels of that card that were not numbered. And I mean, like, me myself, like ripping like tons of platinum, whether it be like blasters, I've ripped a couple of hobby boxes of it too. Like, there's nothing that feels worse than like opening the pack, peeling the cards to the side, and you just see like the side of like a liquid or like a hot magma, or the side of a liquid metal, and all right, well, already there goes one of my shots at like a good numbered card. Or you see a matte pink and you're just like, hey, there's absolutely nothing to get excited about here. So what they did, which I absolutely love, because as I mentioned, I love the design of the hot magma cards, they made a pink magma. So this replaces the matte pink, and the design of it is really, really sick. They kept like it's like a fluorescent-y kind of pink, and it's got like a really nice like background texture to it, which I love. It's not numbered, but I think it's just way better. Also, the sunset parallel looks so much better this year. I love what they did with that. They brought back the pond hockey super short print. That's not numbered. They also added in, which is not on the checklist, it's a new super short print card similar to the pond hockey where it's not numbered, but it's called like the mixed media variant. And this is a combo, it looks like, of like several different designs. So they got the sunsets, there's a little bit of water in the background. It's the cosmic pattern, it's like the night sky above the player. There's the Arctic freeze. You get like some icicles down where the player's name is, and then maybe like some houndstooth or like blue flag fragment patterns around the border as well. So I know that was a lot of jargon there, but my Platinum Junkies will know what I'm talking about. But I think this year Platinum is just like best set I've seen since probably 2020 or 2019.
Next,
That's
high
good
on
insight
life with
to
the tightened up insert levels.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm all about those.
What players are you going to be looking towards? Kind of, I assume, will Lane Hutson be on the list since you're a Habs fan?
There's there's this decent like left-handed shot defenseman out of Montreal. I hear he's pretty good. I mean, Mr. Lane Hutson, I think he was something like, I don't know, like top 5 for defenseman assists like across the entire league. That's not just rookies. Yeah, he's pretty impressive. I think he did something like he took Montreal's power play to like be in, I think it was like bottom 6, bottom 7 of the league. Then he hopped on it and they were like straight into the top 10. So I think if there was anyone to be really looking for, that's just an absolute lock to be just a dynamite player for his career, I think Lane Hutson's definitely the way to go. I've seen some really nice parallels of him built already. I think there's a seismic gold auto that showed up on Facebook, and there's an emerald surge out there too. So, and the cards just look fantastic, like magnificent they look.
Speaking of Emerald Surge, I will have to wait and see if this thing's paid for or not, but there is a comp on an Emerald Surge Lane Hutson auto from today.
Auto?
Lane Hutson Emerald Surge auto.
Wait, let me guess. Can I guess?
Yep.
Let me guess. Okay, so he doesn't, his future watches aren't out yet. The only autographs he's really had are like sticker autos from like SB Gaming, Salou, and that kind of stuff. And those, I'm gonna guess when he's
higher.
Is it 3,500?
You could add both of those together, and it's still not the number.
Whoa!
Let's frickin' go. Holy crap! Is it 6,500?
It's more than 6,500. It is $8,000. $8,000. $8,000.
Let's freaking go. The Habs market stays undefeated, baby. Habs market stays undefeated.
is
We got the best fans in the league.
crazy.
We got the best young talent in the league. Hey, that's a good investment if you're asking me.
To just like put that in comparison,
Only up.
a McDavid auto track, so out of 125 auto 9.5 with a 10 auto did 6,000 in the last. This was like 3 days ago, and this Lane Hudson raw just did 8.
Yeah, because
what would it go for if it was a 10?
The McDavid was rookie year or
just,
rookie tracks.
Yeah, it's just McDavid though. Like, bro, he choked.
These Habs fans are crazy, bro. These Habs fans are crazy.
No, let's think about this for a second. Okay, he's gone to the playoffs 2 years in a row. He's gone to the Stanley Cup final, and he's absolutely choked. Lane Hudson comes into the league at a ripe young age of 21 years old and turns the Montreal Canadiens not only into a top 10 power play, but puts them on his back, revitalizes Patrick Laine's career, and brings them to the playoffs. And in the playoffs, he was a point per game player. Okay? You need to understand right now that we are talking about a generational talent here and absolute lock as a top defenseman in the league for the next 10 years, carrying Montreal to several cups in a dynasty. You guys just wait.
Some bold predictions, but
I'll be waiting for a while.
Buddy, but next year. You've seen what Ken Hughes been cooking up? Oof.
Coleman, do you have more sales pulled up, or do you want me to keep ripping off some that I have here on Car Ladder?
Yeah, I can. Okay, so here we go. Here's some of the highest sales for OPG Platinum. Look at this. You have a Celebrini Sesame Gold for 2,700 best offer. There's the mixed media of Michkov, went for 450. There's that one. There's the Platinum Preview. Again, Platinum Preview. There's not much that has been sold. No, there's a Will Smith base rookie, 339 Canadian.
Was Macklin Celebrini Seismic Gold non-auto out of 50, best offer at $1,200. It went for. There was a Hudson Emerald Surge non-auto that went for $952. Frank Nazar Emerald Surge non-auto Lane Hudson did $950.
That's crazy.
And the auto did next almost.
Yeah. Another impressive sale today. Nazar did Emerald Surge auto did $952 raw. That's a pretty strong sale for Frank Nazar market. Owen Zellweger Emerald Surge auto $700. Matvey Michikov non-auto $600, as well as an Austin Matthews Emerald Surge from this year $600.
Wow.
Speaking of top pulls and cards on release day, we need to shout out. What's the account? Dennis's account on Instagram.
Hughes.
You guys follow that account?
Yes, he is the GOAT.
That account, I feel like, is a must follow. Let me make sure I shout him out correctly here. Dennis_87 pens. Every day, all the time, posting the top hits from all the breakers out there. And it is just so cool to see all these top cards and like knowing when they pop up. And he definitely helped me like remember to keep nudging this guy about the 101 because he posted it a couple times for that foundation. So if you're not following Dennis_87 pens on Instagram, make sure you are, because he is always showing you where the heat is.
He's one I highly suggest as well. I love his account, and I love every day looking at what breakers have got and what's been pulled and what's out there on the market now.
Oh, yeah. So speaking of new sets, we also had the draft, and there's a few players in the draft that I think we're all excited about to finally see them and get some cards, even though it might not be for another year or two. I, for one, am very excited to see cards of Anton Frundell for Chicago. I think him and Bedard are going to make a really nice dynamic 1-2. Big, strong Swedish center. That's just like he's very similar to Leo Carlsson, but I do think he's got more finishing power than Leo Carlsson. And I think he will have a strong market there in Chicago for the years to come. So that would be my personal favorite coming out of the draft this year. That I'm really excited to see those cards, and you can never go wrong with Blackhawk patches.
Yeah, I think the draft was a big kind of event. And there are definitely some players that I'm excited for their cards to come out, including James Haggins. I think he's going to be a beast in the NHL. I think just watching him play at Boston College and watching him in the World Juniors, just watching him compete and the type of player he is, I think he's going to be a great fit and a great kind of hobby person. I think there's going to be a lot of love for him for some reason. Another big one for Philadelphia was Porter Martone. I think he's going to be someone that the fans love. He's someone who plays with a hard style. He plays hard and he's a very physical and can play both sides of the ice. And I think in Philadelphia and in the Eastern kind of East Coast, he's going to become a big favorite over there. And I think there was a bunch of big moves that happened to Nick for your Montreal Canadiens. They got Noah Dobson. And speaking about the draft, Montreal, what are your opinions on the Noah Dobson trade, and how do you think he will impact the team going forward?
Oh, I love it. It's impossible to find good right-handed D-men like anywhere. I mean, Montreal's got such a plethora of very, very talented young prospects, like by far the best in the league. It's not even close. Like, sorry, everybody else, but we just do. We did not need those 2 first-round picks, our own, and the one that Calgary gave us for taking Sean Monahan. What a deal that was, by the way. May I just touch on that quickly? Calgary gave us a first-round pick to take Sean Monahan, which we did, turned him into like an absolute stud of a second-line center, which we then traded to Winnipeg for another first-round pick. So we didn't even need that pick. Flip those 2 into a right-handed D-man, solidify that up. I got nothing to speak about the draft other than Kent Hughes. Keep on cooking, man. Keep on cooking.
It was impressive to me that Montreal might have won the draft without drafting in the first round.
It's just what we do. Like, it's just what we do. We took Lane Hudson in the second round. We took Jacob Fowler with, I think, like the 64th pick or something. And he's the best goalie prospect that's out of the NHL right now. Like no offense to Middlestad or whatever his name is, but like Fowler's got you beat by a mile, kid. Sorry about that. But like we don't need first round picks to draft good players. Like, sure, Demidov's already a stud and like is going to be like point per game next year. But other than that, I mean, maybe Reinbacher cracks the lineup. It'd be nice to see him out there, but nah. Our blue line solidified. We got amazing young goaltending, and now all we need is that second line center to pull it all together. So we'll see what Kent can cook up pretty soon.
So do you think it's still worth buying more Habs this offseason?
Yeah. What? Obviously, you just said a Lane Hudson Emerald Surge auto just sold for $1,000. Adrian and Coleman, like, guys, 9,000 Canadian dollars. You could buy like a mediocrely used car for that amount of money, or you could buy yourself a Lane Hudson Emerald Surge auto. Okay, the Montreal market and the Montreal tax is so real, it's so true, and it holds so strong, and they're only getting better. So of course we're buying more Habs, and this leads me great into my talking point for this segment, which is my personal favorite buy for the offseason, which is Juraj Slabkovsky. Okay, and I quickly just need to hop in here and give you a player comp because he is identical to Mikko Rantanen. All right, guys, I need to give you guys some stats here that are just going to absolutely blow your tops off, blow your whatever's off, because you got to know Mikko Rantanen, okay, and Juraj Slabkovsky, they're both big wingers. They're standing at about 192 centimeters each. Okay, that's just over 6 feet for our American viewers out there. Slabkovsky weighs in at a bit more at 102 kilograms. That's 225 in pounds, and Rantanen's 98 kilograms, and that's 215 pounds. And this is courtesy of Hockey Database. So Rantanen was drafted back in 2015, and he played his first NHL game at the age of 18. Laugh just drafted first overall 2022 and played his first game at the age of 18 as well. Sorry about that, Shane Wright, by the way. And through their first 2 seasons, boys, they were both a combined negative 32. Like, it's uncanny, the similarities between these two. Yeah, so in Rantanen's age 21 season, okay, in his first 2 seasons combined in the NHL, he put up 38 points through 84 games. Slav, at a similar age, has put up over 100 points. Now he's at 111 points. And Mikko Rantanen going into his age 21 season, the same age Slav is right now, I might mention, he put up 84 points. Okay, 84 points was a 0 on the plus minus. Slav last year was a +4. Okay, so he's already ahead of him in plus minus. He's making that difference 5-on-5. He's a huge power forward that's got to grow into his body still. And boys, we got an 80-point season coming up for Slav as well. I would buy Slavkovsky all day long this offseason. All day long.
There you go. Speaking of buying potential in the Adrian, what and who are you picking up this offseason?
My biggest pickup this offseason is probably going to be some more Leo Carlsson. I think we're seeing his numbers start to dip this offseason. As you know, as per usual, a lot of people are still skeptical about Anaheim. You know, they finally moved Zegras. But I think Leo Carlsson's a good buy. I personally am really excited for Easton Cowling's cards to hopefully drop soon, maybe in next year's flagship. But I think right now, like I talked about him last episode, I'm going to talk about him again, Leo Carlsson. I love me my Swedish players. I also think William Nylander taking a big jump next year. Marner's out. The locker room's different, and it's Nylander's city. It's Nylander's city now. He's the hometown boy who's not from here.
I like the Nylander take. I hate the Carlson take. You know who's even better? A better player from Europe would be a guy named Ivan Demidov. His rookies are coming out really soon. I'd probably grab some of him because he's already better than Carlson as it stands. And I know they're not too similar in terms of play style, but I would take Ivan Demidov.
Too much Habs love out here. Holy cow.
Not enough, actually. There's not enough slander for the Anaheim Ducks. What an absolute sham of an organization. I'm so sorry. But, like, God, their prospects, like, when's the last time a decent player was drafted and actually put up a decent season? Like, Zegras is going to be so good. McTavish, woo! Like, Zellweger, like, Drysdale, traded for a bag of chips. They traded Zegras for, like, half that afterwards, both of them to Philly. Like, that's where players go to never be heard from again, I'll say. And funny enough, Leo Carlsson's following the same trajectory.
Hey, Corey Perry's been in the last 5 Stanley Cup finals.
You know why? Because he's not on Anaheim anymore.
Fair enough.
Thank God we got our boy John Gibson out of there. The only redeeming quality of Anaheim, and they got him out of there. Thank God.
Finally, after
Where did
forever.
He went to Detroit. I thought he was going to be there forever. What about you, Coleman? Who's your off-season buy that you're trying to pick up?
I think one that's not really a low key is going to be Matthew Knies. I think with his new contract, and I think what a great bargain for the Leafs coming in at 7.775 AAV. I think that's going to be a huge impact, and he's just going to take another step next year. Again, Adrian, as you said, like Nylander with Marner out of the Leafs now, there's going to be extra points that are needed to get. You have to replace a 100-point player basically, and I think Knies is going to take a big step, and well, the new core 4, he's part of it, and I think he is ultimately the future. And I think I've got a couple kind of more sleeper picks. One that maybe they didn't have a great year last year. I'm going to say Marco Rossi. He is someone who I watched here in Ottawa, and I believe that he is going to be someone who's going to take another step next year. And I also think Jack Quinn for Buffalo. I think he's going to be someone who's going to have a big year, and kind of his market's going to blossom some more.
I was a big Marco Rossi believer last year. Picked up a lot of them, moved a lot of them. I think he needs out of Minnesota. I don't think the organization likes him enough to give him the chances that he needs to succeed. And I think as soon as he gets on another team, I think that guy's going to put up a 75-point season. No problem. But he's not going to do it in Minnesota.
I think Marco Rossi needs to put on about another 4 to 5 inches of height and another 10 to 15 kilograms of weight. And then maybe he'll be able to touch a relevant hockey team's top to middle 6 and be a relevant player. I'm sorry. The kid's skilled, sure, but man, unless you're Cole Caulfield, you cannot be that short and be scoring goals out there. I'm sorry. Like,
you're just a fan, so
it takes a hey, loud and proud, baby. We got Marty. No. Let's not make this about me. Let's make this about Marty St. Louis. I think he was like 5'7", and he's absolutely ridiculous. He gets any short player on that team, and he will turn them into an absolute stud. We're good though now. We got Caulfield. Suzuki's a little bit taller, and we're good to go.
I did think Marco Rossi was bigger. He's actually 5'9", 185.
He's not that big.
But you know who's big? Matthew Knies. That's a big boy right there.
Hey, I'm a Matthew Knies fan, and I think we're all in agreement that it's a great time to buy Leafs. We're capitalizing on the broken hearts of Leafs fans and them liquidating their entire hockey card collections after that absolutely devastating loss to Florida in Game 7. And I mean, there's no better time to buy Leafs. Like, Austin Matthews has never been cheaper. Matthew Knies is an absolute no-brainer, locked in on that contract. Nylander, I love the take too. Adrian, I mean, they got Tavares for an absolute bargain, less than what Cody Ceci got paid. We're living in a time where John Tavares is getting as a lower average than Cody Ceci right now in the NHL. What a time to be alive, boys.
What are the Kings doing? also with signings.
That was my biggest surprise of the year. He put up 24 points last year. Cody Ceci did. 24 points. He was a +4. That's actually pretty impressive. I thought he was worse than that, but he was a +4 playing third line. So maybe he's gotten a bit better since he played on the Leafs, but Cody Ceci, my guy.
It's the Tyler Toffoli experience. Like, just he's they've made some interesting. They were a Pierre-Luc Dubois lover too, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
The LA Kings are notorious for those very, very. Yeah, they gave him a shot for. Actually, yeah, he had his worst year out of the last 4 in LA. Put up a shocking 40 points in 82 games for the LA Kings in the 23-24 season.
That was Dubois.
Oh yeah.
Well, boys, that was lots to talk about. I think we're all actually going to be together this weekend, coming out to the Capital Show for the first time in Ottawa, in Coleman's stomping ground. So very excited to experience that for the first time. So we'll definitely have a recap of that next episode. And then the following week, we'll be here in Mississauga in the GTA for the CSC show, all set up together again, which will be another good, fun time. So hopefully that next episode, we'll have lots of new pickups to talk about. We'll probably see a bit more hot and cold players. Who's the right player to buy just based off their market trend. But otherwise, that was a rocking episode, guys. Any last comments from the boys?
No, I just want to say thank you to Nick for coming on today. And also this weekend, we will be at the Nepean Sportsplex in Ottawa on Woodruff Ave. It's going to be great to have you guys down at the Capital Trade Show. Let you guys see what the hobby's all about down here. Yeah, it was a great episode, and it was great being able to chat with you guys.
Thanks for having me, boys. It was a pleasure. Love the way this pod's going, and I'm excited to hopefully be back on in the coming episodes. So go Habs go, and see you on the weekend, Coleman.
That was Juice, boys. See you then.
Juice!